Before we get into the action from this weekend, I just wanted to quickly get your take on a matter that personally I find very sad.
A sad matter. Yeah, it's a sad. It's a very sad. I'll tell you, and then I'll let you go. I'm sorry, but it's a sad, scary matter. Go ahead.
Obviously, we're talking about Ryan Garcia and what's been going on with him on social media. And Teddy, I can't help but every time I see it, maybe it's the dad in me, but every time I see Ryan talking crazy
Where's the parents?
on social
Are
media,
you thinking that?
Where are his parents? Where's the manager? Where are the friends? Anybody to say, dude, cut the
Does he
shit
have
with
friends?
this social media.
Sometimes you don't know if you have
That's a good
friends
point.
until that situation is tested. I've always talked about Cuss would always say you don't know who your friends are till they're tested. So maybe this is the test to find out who his friends are. Maybe there's not a whole big gathering going on or maybe we don't know that he just chased everyone away or isolated himself to a point where they can't get to him. I want to be fair about it because we don't know.
Let me say this and then turn it over to you. It's sad to see what's happening because we've had him on the show. He's a nice kid. He really is a nice kid. I don't think that
He's
this
changed,
gangster
though.
attitude.
He has changed, though.
This attitude doesn't suit him.
But Ken, he's changed dramatically ever since the Campbell fight.
Exactly.
Ever since the Campbell fight, his biggest fight up until the Tank fight. He was on the floor. He got off the floor. He stopped Campbell, who was a good, solid guy who had fought for the title. I don't know if he held an interim title, Campbell, or not for a minute. But, he was just a solid guy. He had lost to Lomachenko. He lost to top guys, Campbell. But, Ryan got dropped, got off the floor, stopped him with a beautiful hook to the body. And,
beautiful.
Yeah, and look, it looked like the world was his. Everything was in front of him.
Teddy, I think that and the loss to Tank in the way that he lost, and a lot of people said he quit. I don't know if I would necessarily characterize it that way, but you could make that argument. I think that was a huge turning point for him too. I think that was a huge blow to his ego, and he's been probably tortured as a result of the ending of that fight. But what do you think here? Like, where do we go from here?
It's a good question, Ken, because it's hard to know. Where the hell do we go? I mean, there's some people that even suggesting that, listen to this one, from what we're seeing, this erratic, scary behavior on the internet, and the last one was the devil got a hold of him. I mean, I couldn't even look at it all. I'll be honest with you. I really couldn't. Like, and then him smoking weed and posted that, and then he shows up at the press conference for the Haney fight. He looked like he had been on a binge, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
For sure.
And he shows up for that, and he says, so, okay, you all know I'm smoking, I drink, so what, whatever. And it's just a lot of scary, erratic behavior that just has to concern you about another human being. That's all. Nobody wants to see a human being tortured. Nobody wants to see a human being going down a bad path. Again, he's all over the place. You just hope I get worried about a guy like that. I do, because he's very emotional. He's obviously having mental issues or emotional issues, and obviously
that's fair.
Yeah, obviously I think it's fair to say he needs help. He needs somebody, if not friends or family, somebody professionally to talk to him. One of the things I started to say that people even hinting at that it's a possibility, which who knows? So some people said, rather than saying that he's just the obvious, that he needs help, that this would have to worry you, this kind of behavior. But some are saying, well, this is what he does. He's a creation of social media. He's a talented fighter. He came up. He's a talented kid. But he was also a good-looking kid who was playing the social media game really wise. He had 9 million, 10 million followers, very smart, putting up things. And there's some people that are suggesting that, hey, is this to build a social media to continue getting more, hits? I looked at one when somebody said that. I looked at one of his posts, and it had 2 million views within a short period of time. So I was thinking, come on, it doesn't seem like he would go to that extent to get.
Yeah, I don't think
no,
so.
I don't either.
I
But,
know where they're
but I
coming
just want to
from,
put it
but
out there.
it's-
People are saying that,
Yeah.
because he is a good-looking kid, he is a kid who worked hard, not by accident, but he was smart, just like Jake Paul. Smart to build up the social media. Give all the credit in the world to Jake Paul. He's a genius. Now, now there's also people saying he's doing it to get more pay-per-view views for the Haney fight. So that's in the mix. That's in the air. Again, if he's going to that extent to do those things, it's still worrisome. It's a problem. I would doubt the Haney fight could even happen now.
I have concerns. I'd be more surprised if that fight happens. Honestly, I'm waiting for them to announce it's off.
That's fair, and I agree with you, but I'll take it further. I'll take it a step further. Nobody's talked about this. I knock the commissions of boxing. They don't do enough. They're full of crap. Too many of them. They're pretty much controlled by the promoters, because without the promoters, they wouldn't be able to be a commission. There'd be no work to commission. There'd be no reason for them. So their jobs are directly tied into the promoters that are big, that are doing regular shows in their areas, wherever their areas are. And so I don't have faith in a lot of the commissions, and for good reason. When I see the things they do and they don't do, when their job is to do certain things, to look out for the fighters, to look out for the sport, I see them come up short. So this is a job for the commission, I would say, that if you ever had a reason to have a commission, and you do, to protect the fighters, right?
Yep.
They need to now show their, what they're made of, their salt, if you will, and step up and say, hey, Ryan Garcia is not fighting in our area, in our commissioned area, until we have doctors evaluate him. I think that's fair, Ken.
That's what I was just going to say. I think an evaluation is more than fair, given the erratic behavior.
I think it's fair, and I think it's necessary. I think it's mandated if we're human beings here. If it's more than just a gladiator sport, and I know it is. I've been in it 50 years. But if it's more than a gladiator sport, a blood sport, I think that, again, you have commissions for a reason. I think the commission that would be in charge of this fight needs to step up and say, because of what's become obviously public and aware from us and everybody else of what's been going on recently in the behavior of Ryan Garcia on the internet and other social media platforms, we cannot, in good conscience, as a commission, go forward, with validating this fight until we have medical people see Ryan and do an evaluation. I think that's, again, I'll finish it by saying it one more time. What is the sense of having a commission if in a case like this, they don't step up and act like a commission? Act like a commission, in theory at least, not to mention actuality, but in theory, this is what they're supposed to do. Make sure a fighter does not get in the ring that shouldn't get in the ring. It doesn't get more straightforward.
I would say this too, and I know I speak for you as well. Like, if Ryan, if he sees this and he needs help and he wants to talk to someone who doesn't need anything or want anything from him, either Teddy or myself, be happy to talk to you. This is like,
just hope he's all right.
No amount of money or sports endeavor is worth your mental or physical health. So hope he's okay. Hope he gets it together and it turns out to be all a big act. But he seems to be in crisis, and I hope he's okay because, like I said, he's a nice kid.
No, listen, I think it's beyond an act point now. I think I pointed out every possibility I think is my job to point out, and things that fans out there are thinking. All the way from, as abstract as it might sound, all the way from that he's building up his social media, he's trying to build up the box office for this fight. But I think it's, if you're going to these kind of lengths to do that, there's something wrong anyway. It's still, and even smoking the weed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There are drug rules. Will he even be clean? I don't know in that particular state what the rules. They used to be that you couldn't smoke weed. I would think that maybe it still is, but who knows? But if it is, is he going to get a clean test? So, and again, letting the whole world see that he's doing that makes you wonder, does he want to fight, or does he just want? It seems at the end of the day like someone crying out for help. It seems that way. Like he don't know how to do it any other way, I guess. And
that's right.
And this is his way, that he's been so used to being on a platform of the social media where everything is so freaking public. This is his way of maybe crying out for help that he can't do in another way. Either way, I hope he gets the help.